before? You should do homework.
What are you doing?
Well, it's funny you should ask. For the past 12 years, I've been writing a screenplay based on the last man alive on Earth. You see, he starts out in an alligator-infested swamp in the bowels of Kentucky. Not much happens, but basically it ends with him finding that he needs to sacrifice himself in order... I haven't quite finished.
I think you need like a femme fatale or something in there. Like a woman or something.
Well,
Over that.
it's about the last man on Earth.
Last man meets last woman.
I was kind of thinking of like mankind, man.
Maybe he meets another man, and then because they're both men, they cannot have a child.
Boy, that'd be a twist for them liberals.
I've never been a fan of Led Zeppelin. Everyone always talks like, oh, they're the most amazing thing.
You just had to grow up with it.
I've heard that. What do you think of Hillary?
Duff?
No, Clinton. She's running for president. What do you think of the first female president?
I don't trust it.
I don't trust
You
women
know, the
either.
whole thing's... The whole system. It's gone down.
Excuse me, peasant, do you know how these machines work?
Put a quarter in it. Put it on.
Where's your clothes?
Normally I would have the slaves do it, but...
Where's your clothes?
Did you say slaves?
Look, I'm from out of town. I don't know how things work here. Well, I think the current state of affairs in the U.S. is absurd. They don't have slaves, for instance, who does the laundry. No.
Oh, money saver. How doing, Tata? I'm trying to get to Sarasota. That's where my family is, you see. And then we have a number of, like, pastures. They're ours. Like, my dad said, be home for Christmas, or you ain't gonna get any of this soda roasted chicken.
Pastures, like in the preachers?
No, not like in the preachers. No, see, like, my dad owns pastures, and I was like, Dad, I'm gonna be home for Christmas. And he's like, no, you're not, because you're a bum. And I said, I'm not a bum, Dad. I said, I grew up. I'm a grown man now. I got a job. I got a job down at the food bank. It's all, I don't get paid, but sometimes they let me take some food home. Now, I forgot where. Well, I'm trying to get to Sarasota. My family, they've been walking a long way. I'm looking for odd jobs to do basic construction, home care, and lawn care. Heavy lifting, not a problem. If you just ask for Shane, that's my brother's name. He'll hook you up. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get back home to Sarasota. Really, what I'm trying to do is get back in time.
It's just a
because
party.
Sarasota's where I'm from, and Sarasota's where I live. Hey. Hey, you guys fucked that shit up. All right, guys.
Again, and welcome to this week's edition of Community Forum with myself, Lance Erickson. This week we are featuring musician Nathaniel Wells and retired military officer Eugene Bergmeyer.
Eugene L. Bergmeyer.
Eugene L. Bergmeyer. We will now begin the show with our first question, a very simple one. Public masturbation! Your thoughts, gentlemen?
Actually, man, like, before I start things off, like, I'd really appreciate if you guys called me, Earth Song.
That's the most bullshit thing I've ever heard.
Well, it's because, like, I represent, like, Earth. Like, I'm the song of the Earth, man.
You know who the fucking song of the earth is?
Man, just let's talk about blowing a load, man.
That is the most obscene thing I've ever heard. Would you repeat the question?
Public masturbation.
Is that an open-ended question?
For or against? Support your reasons.
Personally, wait. What was the question?
It's about blowing a load in public, man.
That is the most obscene thing I've ever heard, and I would ask you, young man, to use proper language on public access. My wife is watching.
Man, but like swearing is just like the man. Like, he's just telling you not to.
You know, I would use the Fifth Amendment against you on this one. You know, there's a number of documents.
Man, let's just
What?
talk about public masturbation.
I thought I heard the fucking wind. As I stated before, I have a number of documents which states quotes directly, actually, from the Quran, which states public masturbation is required 5 times a day. If you read it, it's actually one of the 5 pillars of their religion, and with a foundation as lewd and filled with aristocratical defunctments as a doctrine like this states, you can't possibly expect Al-Qaeda to defend themselves or their countrymen.
Mr. Nathaniel, pardon me, Earth Song, rebuttal.
Well, man, I just think it's like
He thinks that's funny.
oh man, you need to relax.
I'll relax when I'm dead. My wife will be enjoying the insurance policy by then. Or do you not believe in insurance either?
Look, just because some religion man says that like you gotta blow a load 5 times a day, like doesn't mean it's wrong for me to blow a load like 5 times a day. Like, man, I can do it 6 times a day if I want, and like 7 if I really push myself.
Earth Song, what is your personal record for number of daily penile secretions in a 24-hour period?
Well, actually, it's like, well, sometimes like when I'm on like some drug binge, I think I've done it like 12 times, but like, you know, it's really hard to like keep a track of those things because, you know, I'm really like fucking high and like, man, but it's just really, oh yeah. And like my favorite place to do it is like in the park.
Personally, mine is the library.
Yeah, man, you know, you do
the
what you want.
fucking prison. It's a lewd act.
Well, what I think is like, you know, shit, man, people should be able to like, the way things should be is like 2 girls should be able to like one should be able to poop in a cup and like the other should be able to drink it. You know, it's like Nietzsche said, like, nothing's really real, so
Nietzsche loved his sister, and he was a faggot.
actually, man, you know, like, you can't really love like a woman and be like a homosexual.
You can't love a woman because you're a faggot.
Man, ouch. I'm masturbating.
Harsh words, son.
You're really not making my day, man, and that's just not cool.
Am I harsh in your mellow, you fucking hippie?
Man, you are harsh in my fucking mellow.
You know,
okay?
I'm sorry that I'm harshing
Just
your
take a
mellow.
fucking
But if you get a
chill
fucking job
Oh my
and you'd learn how to play your damn guitar, you know, some people might respect you a little better.
Man,
you know,
I
you don't
have
know
a
the
fucking
you know you don't
job.
know the first thing about Al-Qaeda or society or the fabric breakdown, the fabricinal breakdown of society. There's a lot of people that would state that these sort of facts just aren't evident. But these truths hold to be self-evident. That's what, my man Thomas Jefferson stated. You don't know the first thing about society, like I was saying earlier, to explain the entire process of the fabricinal breakdown of society,
It would take many ages. I can't begin to explain how ignorant your age is. You know, you guys need to get some real education. They say every day that the schools are trying to benefit children more and more. Well, I think that Hitler should come back, and that we should oppress society, and everyone should start to follow Judeo-Christian values in the strictest, non-metaphorical sense. Listen to me. I am the overlord of the state. Fuck off. It's like my grandson James was saying. He lives in the middle of the state. And the things that those kids say to him on the playground, you know, he's a normal kid. He's an American, but these kids, they say things like cocksucker and faggot. You know, how's a kid supposed to live with himself when he's called a fucking douchebag at every right turn? You know, there's no way to understand how a young man is supposed to come up in the United States of America, which was founded by our forefathers nearly 300 years ago, when they're being called a cocksucker. You know, these kids, they need to calm down. Their parents need to put their foot down. I would put my foot up their ass personally, but my boot is 2 sizes too small to handle all these obese sons of bitch kids.
Maybe she's cool, maybe she's not. La 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 la.
Hi, I'm Trent Simon, musician and entrepreneur. I've known John Leslie professionally and as a friend for years.
Just the man I want to see, Trent! Is it Trent or is it Trey?
Trent!
Trent!
Before and after his pain accident. And I am glad to present you with some rare recorded footage from before the tragic paint accident.
Hi, I'm John Leslie!
Oh, I go.
I'm John Leslie, and recently I recorded a number of... Sorry. I'm John Leslie, and recently I recorded a number of...
Sorry. Keep going.
Just keep it going. John,
No.
you want to start again?
No. I'm John Leslie, and recently I recorded a number of my hits acoustically for all of you to enjoy at home. And let me tell you something, here's why you'll enjoy this 4-disc set. One of the discs is a cassette. You get a real tape sound, real raw, like me back in the 80s. Let me tell you, these hits include... Did you get that? Okay.
Come out
Thank you, folks.
I was afraid to live alone.
You can cut that out, right? Hey, Trent, get your bass. Close the door, man, and let me heat up. I've been writing some new material. Get your bass. Okay, I want you to spin it right this time, okay? This one's gonna get us out of this studio apartment. Okay, out of this. Ready? You ready? Okay, it's all. You were playing the wrong thing, okay? It was like this. What's
slow. Ready?
So just play it like you said.
You play it right. You play it on the streets. Ready?
I've been living here 7 months! You only been here 6 months! I'm gonna come out there! Shut up, Wayne! Shut up, Wayne! Shut up, Wayne! Shut up! Wayne! Good song. Too bad I don't have a paper right there. I'm bored. I had sunscreen in my hand.
You going to the beach?
Yeah, I was. You want to come?
Yeah.
Things are all right. Shit.
That's good.
I've been writing the new material.
Okay.
Hey, you guys. Can your dad pay rent for us again?
I'll check into it.
Yeah,
I gotta go to the laundry.
1 more month, man. I'm John Leslie. All others are less than me. I'm John Leslie. All others are less than me. Less than me. Thank you, Pasadena! Guys have been. Well, everyone, as many of you know, this song's about wives' tales, and I've been the root of many of them. Let me tell you, it ain't no walk in the park, let me tell you now. The song affects me. How many wives' tales must be? Let me start again. The drums are off. Can you get it right? How many wives' tales must be told? How many wives' tales? You want to go again? Bring it from the top. These people are paying good money. Why don't you get it right? Okay. So let me just. There we go. Ready? All right, wait. How many wives' tales must be told? How many wives' tales must be told? You're fired! I can't believe y'all's incompetence! The Lord doesn't take that kind of incompetence. Why should I? Get out of my house! Get out! There's the door where they hit ya! Where's the... Turn my guitar! You! Come tune my guitar. Put it in tune. No, that ain't no joke. You tune it. I don't hear tuning. Ow! Ow! God! Why won't my heat turn on? I know I paid the bills. Last month, I think. What is this? This part isn't important. Where are the pipes? Oh, shit! Nothing in this house works. Stop killing me. Stop. I didn't say who. Oh, Joe's website is up! Thank you!
Don't do this. I'm just gonna get this. You know, it'll be good. Look, I mean, we got in a fight, we're really drunk, and we're gonna buy this together and kind of recoup together. It's like, me? Oh man, I thought we were over this. Well, it looks like I was the one who won the fight, obviously. Anyways, it's not worth it. I don't even hurt. Let's go.
Thinking about the Al-Qaeda a lot lately. It's come to my attention that they're on our soil. In fact, there's a young middleman not more than 2 blocks from here. I'm convinced he's Al-Qaeda. So what we're gonna succeed in procuring is evidence for the federal government that he is in fact Al-Qaeda. And upon procuring that official evidence for the federal government, we're gonna seek to take in and stop it ourselves. You know, if the American people don't stop and do things for themselves, who's gonna do anything for them in the first place, you know? This is the kind of thing that not a lot of people necessarily understand. Either they're too weak, they're too frightened, or they're too old. But I'm here to say you're never too old to defend your country. They kicked me out of the military over 15 years ago, and you know what I've been doing ever since? Security on the home front. I've been watching the streets, calling the cops on those street racing kids, all sorts of stuff like that. Those things that those bastard kids do all day. You know, they think that they're, you know, just having a good time and expressing themselves or whatever, but really, they're just aiding in the decay of morals of society, and that brings about terrorism. You know, if we could stand as a strong nation, as one, we could avoid damnation. You know what I'm saying? If we just kept the fabric of our society tightly knit, you know, like 220 or something, like, you know, a nice tight knit, you know, nobody would really have a problem with America. We could, you know, we could go in, help the people out, invade whatever country we needed to, just to tell them how to live like us Americans. And they'd be impressed with that, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know, I feel that the president is doing a marvelous job. He hasn't lied to the American people. He hasn't, you know, produced any sort of like executive powers that just completely trump normal constitution.
Executive power.
And this is the house. I believe he lives in the top apartment. We're gonna go check it out. Gonna put these in my pocket. Okay. We don't want him to see us. Or know our identities. If he knows our identities, you know, I can't see, you know, quite frankly. Okay. If he knows our identities, he'll come after our families. You know, terrorists, they don't focus on the general military. They assault the American home front. Okay, here we go. Now I'm convinced that if we just spy in this window for a while, that we can see that he will definitely produce some sort of illegal documentation stating that he is in fact a terrorist. We will remain as silent as possible. Okay. That must be some sort of terrorist raiding party. See them, they're controlling some kind of device hooked up to the television. My theory is that it's some sort of satellite messaging system and that they're probably talking with Osama himself. Okay, William's got a cell phone. He's going into the back room. He might be going for a weapon. Gotta wait till he comes back out of the front. That way he can't draw a weapon. Right when he comes towards the front, I'm gonna open his door. I'm gonna shoot him in the head. This is the real time. You know, my wife says I shouldn't be so paranoid. She says things aren't as bad. But now I have proof. Listen against the door. The second I hear him come back to the front, I'm gonna pop the door open, shoot him in the head, shoot both of his friends really quick. And you're gonna have it all on film. Proof that I am not crazy, that these young Middle Eastern terrorists are definitely in fact terrorists. I can't tell if he's coming to the front or not. I'm thinking maybe I'll just knock on the front door. When he answers it, I'll shoot him in the head. He'll die. I'll go right past him. And well, you know, we gotta get some more information out of these guys. Right when he opens the front door, I'm gonna take him hostage, push the door open, and then succeed in questioning his motives. You know, his. Marshals! Where are your documents?
Nothing. I'm gonna be coming with you at 6 o'clock, okay? Bye. Jesus Christ, my sister was on the fucking phone, guy.
Where are your documents?
I don't...
No! What is this? Is this what you've been doing? You know, I think I was wrong about you. You're a nice guy.
I am, man. But
Somebody call the cops. Sucks.
Because I didn't know them, and like the woman's voice was like really deep, and I was like, who is this? And I knew for the whole time that Mark was up to something, because that's like Mark's MO.
Yeah, it is.
Where do they live?
Right next to there.
Oh, why don't we do that one too?
Because you're not home. I'm pretty sure no one's home. That's all.
Lucifer antiquated some serious bills.
Looks to me like a trail of blood.
How far do you think phosphor can travel?
Could have been an alien or some form of alien hair.
Possibly a Scottish man on the run.
Quite possibly.
About 26 acres from here is a Celeste farm.
I don't know if I believe that for a second.
I wouldn't make any joke of it. Word is around here people been dying.
Looks to me like a hearty trail of blood.
They call it the Rainbow Death. There it is!
Here, keep filming, ready?
How far do you think phosphor can travel?
Could have been an alien or some form of alien hair.
I don't want to have to do this, man! Stein is dead! Ah! 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 Buddy, you're going home to Sarasota! What's it?
She seems like a nice girl. Too bad she has a boyfriend. I mean, that's not gonna keep me from watching her with the television. And look what you can't touch, you know what I mean?
What kind of alcohol binge was I on? Okay,
Where are you going, bub?
I gotta gain my bearings. There's a lot of bearings involved. Oh,
Where you
what I've
headed?
been telling my family like lately is that I'm trying to get home to Sarasota. I'm kind of, hey, just cool it, man. I'm
Are
kind
you
of.
like from an alternate dimension?
No, see, well, it's like I guess Sarasota, like you could call it that. It's like the tourist destination of the Midwest, you know. But really, what I'm trying to do is get home. There's going to be a big football game, and I got to be there for it. I bet my brother $25 that his team would win. Oh shit! Sometimes his team does win. I don't really know. Sometimes I get confused on whose team is which because I think that we like he didn't go to college either. And we're both trying to get back to Sarasota. He's going to take a plane. No, he's from Chicago. He's going back to Sarasota from Chicago. Does that say twice fresh? Dry.
Yeah, they got that.
Skin irritant, harmful if swallowed. What if I showed up at my house and I had some of that for my mom? She'd be oh so pleased. They got that commercial on TV, it's got that jingle, it's like twice as fresh. Don't you know it is twice as fresh? Well, I didn't know they had it in a biodegradable formula. But that's probably good. You know that gentleman, he's from my area, his name's Michael Moore. He makes those films and I watch those films and they always tell me a lot of things that I didn't really know about society before I started watching them, you know? And he said that I shouldn't use laundry detergent because it'll make the planet it won't make the planet green. And you know me, I'm a green consumer. I try and buy things that are good for the environment. When I have the money, of course. Generally when I'm downtown in Sarasota, I can take my time and I can shop the markets. But lately I haven't had the time to shop the markets. This twice as fresh stuff though, like I'm told, it's a skin irritant. It's harmful if it's swallowed, of course. But like I said, Michael Moore has this film out and he says that it's pretty good stuff. I think that it might be good stuff. I'm kind of confused as to what I'm supposed to do when I buy it. But if anything is right, and sometimes some things are right, my mom has said on a number of occasions that if I watch my Michael Moore films, because he's a sweet young man, his mom plays canasta with my mom downtown, and what they said was, you use this stuff because it's a skin irritant, and it's harmful if it's swallowed, but if you don't buy it, you get it for free and then you use it. My family being from Sarasota and all, they tell me not to use the normal temperature, but the high temperature will help you put your fornication in the fortitude. But what I'm trying to do really is get back to Sarasota. Like I was saying earlier, they don't have quite as great a fabric softener there. I'm trying to bring in one of those fitness centers. My mom says that she'll most likely, deposit her $25 and go there once a week maybe. But moms always say things like that. Like you can't realistically believe everything old people say. Like Michael Moore always says, he's got that film out. He dispersed using the money saver. That is the nation's #1 local ad magazine. I always thought that it might have some sort of Michael Moore used this word like some metaphysical properties, but I was never sure. One, I'm not really sure what the word means, obviously, but two, it's just it really impresses me that he used the money saver to escape, the shackles of this life, it's really just like a big metaphor for what things happen in life. You see that sign that says 25 cents for 7.5 minutes. You couldn't pay anyone 25 cents for 7.5 minutes of their time. So really what he was trying to say was, his life was so much more valuable than you realize. I should probably, I've got Michael Moore's phone number. I found it in the phone book. There was about 27 other, Michael Moore names. So it took me a while to get it, but he answered the phone and he told me that if I ever came up with some really great film ideas, that I should give him a call. And I think that this young man, using the money saver just to escape the shackles that the fortitude of the state presses on him, would really speak to Michael Moore's sort of crowd. And I am Michael Moore's sort of crowd. And he's my sort of crowd. We kind of coexist
with one another. We're coefficients. If you know, like x minus y, that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just gotta write down my ideas, let Michael look at them. We'll speak to one another like civilized filmmakers. You know, he has, you know, a nicer camera than I do. But, you know, I think that I could probably set this in motion. It's like a one-way street now, and I didn't understand what that meant because it used to be 2 lanes.
Hey,
so cars would go.
Hey, man. Why don't you like shut up?
Are you talking like to me or like the noisy machines? Because let me tell you, these machines. I gotta get back to Sarasota. I had always wondered why we didn't really have laundromats in Sarasota. It was barely because most of the people aren't very nice. And like, well, what I was saying to myself, well, I guess to anyone who was wanted to listen earlier about like really where Sarasota comes from, is we don't really get like substantial. Yeah, the icicles are better in Sarasota. Well, yeah,
That's the gist of it.